Hey guys, welcome to finally my December 2016 Q&A. So the last Q&A for 2016. Now, last week on Monday, I tried to do a Q&A, but for some reason the video wasn't quite working. It worked for some people, it didn't work for others. So I decided to cancel that one and move to this one. And I'm going to reset my video. That way I know that things are working. So I'm watching on this side too. So let me know, guys, if everything is working. Right now I have a commercial, so hopefully that stops soon and we can get this party on the road. I do see some questions already from Kenneth. So I did start like a minute earlier. I was working on an article, but I was like, hey, let me start. All right, so let's see if it's working. It is. At least on my side it is. Let's hope it stays that way. I'd be very happy. I see a hi in the comments. So yeah, it looks like the video has started and we can start this Q&A. So in the comments below, you guys can ask your questions. So Kenneth first asks, I've enjoyed the current DC Rebirth Supergirl, but others like yourself have not. What is missing from the book and why do you hope it improves? You know, I just feel like it doesn't really have the personality of Supergirl. I think the TV show shows it very well of who Supergirl is, and the DC Rebirth book had a big chance to reestablish who Supergirl is. And I feel like with Supergirl, though, she's always changing, you know, depending on the decade. I mean, all superheroes are like that, but I think Supergirl especially in when she was introduced in the Silver Age and then getting into Crisis, and then when she came back, they took a very more modernized version of Supergirl, and my favorite version of Supergirl was like the Sterling Gates run in that time period, and then the character lost momentum with the New 52, and a lot of the qualities from the New 52 are still in this recent DC Rebirth book. So bringing one of the first arcs to be Cyborg Superman, I don't think was the best start. And there's a lot of elements from the TV show, but I don't think the right elements. You know, you add the DEO aspect, but it's not really the familiarity from the show. You don't have Alex, which I think if you're gonna bring elements from the show, you should have. And then Cat Grant, I don't think is used as at the fullest either. And then the whole science school. I'm honestly more curious and more interested in that new miniseries coming out. The end of this month. I've been very anticipating for that because that looks like more of a teenage book. Supergirl dealing with being a teenager, which has always been fun. That obviously the TV show can't do, that the comics can do. So I could go on and on about Supergirl because I love the character, but I think that's what's been missing, and I just have not been liking it. Now, I've been picking it up because I am a huge Supergirl fan, and I see more promise, I think, with that book than Green Arrow. I just dropped Green Arrow. But it still feels like a chore to read, and that's not a good thing. So hopefully I don't feel that way as the series continues. All right, so moving on to the next question, which is from Kenneth again. How come there's no Star Wars Rogue One prequel comic from Marvel? There was one coming out but got canceled. I don't know. Maybe just because of the future of Star Wars, maybe they're gonna. I heard they might use some of these characters in the future in other mediums. Like you have one of the characters, I think Shaw's name is, who was like kind of the father figure of Jin, is going to be in Star Wars Rebels, and then supposedly Felicity Jones might be in another Star Wars movie, even with the events that happened in the movie. It looks like they're just going to be using them in different mediums, so that's probably why. But yeah, I wish we would have had that Rogue One miniseries. I was upset when it got canceled too. Kenneth says, are you collecting the new Supergirl trade paperbacks? That have the pre-New 2 run in Peter David run. I don't know. I guess if I got them as a gift, I would, but I already read all of them, and I have a lot of them in trade. In Peter David's run, I have all in single issues, so I don't think so, but for people that have never read it, I'm glad it's being reprinted because it hasn't been in print in a while. It's harder to get and it's more expensive to trade. So I'm glad that DC's been doing that with a lot of their popular characters. Lady Ankara, which I actually met her at the New Jersey Expo, so it was nice seeing you here. That's exactly as I felt. That's exactly as I felt. DC hasn't been consistent with her and have at some points made her younger and less dimensional. Yeah, I think they found a real sweet spot with her in the show, and they should have went that direction with the comic. And I'm glad we have things like Avengers or Supergirl. But yeah, I think next to like Wonder Woman, Supergirls have been a very inconsistent character. That's just been our history. But there's been a lot of good stories with her that I wish the DC Rebirth went with. And like I keep saying, I'm really excited for that miniseries, which I think will take a more modern take at Supergirl. Alan says, how much of a hangover will Jay have Thursday? Oh, man, I don't know. Hopefully he has a good celebration for his birthday. Kenneth's Supergirl being super, can't wait for it. And that's the miniseries I was talking about. Tom says, no, why did you drop Green Arrow? I had to, honestly. I just did not like it. I gave it a big try, and I'm a huge Green Arrow fan, and I'll probably pick it up again for the Arsenal story arc. So that's coming up really soon. I just had to take a little break because I love Green Arrow. It's just not really the book I wanted to be. So I dropped it for the time being, but we'll probably pick it up again in February, or I think it starts in March, the Arsenal story. We have MT who says, hello, Kat. Lady Ankara says, of course, they want her to appeal to young readers, but I want them to get her grown into a competent adult who's an equal to her peers. I agree. I also think they could do her teen stories in a more appealing way. Lady Ankara, actual question, will you be going out to Baltimore for Farpoint? I'm not. What is Farpoint all about? Is that a convention? I haven't heard about it. Let me know. I have Andy in the comments, which I'll get to his question soon. MT says, did you know Forrest Whitaker is playing a character from Star Wars, The Clone Wars, and Rogue One? Yeah, I just mentioned that earlier. I didn't know if he was voicing him or not, but I did hear about the Star Wars Rebels. Andy says, Speedy versus Jesse Quick, who would win? That's hard. First of all, because Andy knows my love for both characters. But Speedy is a little bit more trained. She's been doing it for a little bit longer, but Jessie has the Speed Force. So as of right now, I would say Speedy, just because, again, she's had a lot more training. So I'd go with Speedy. But Jessie, I think after like a year of training, might be able to defeat Thea. So I think we have to see more of Jessie to find out, but that's an awesome question. So we got Kenneth in the comments. His last question for now, Kat. Jin, how awesome was she in Rogue One? Felicity Jones is Bae. I just adore her. And Melissa Benoist says Supergirl. I liked her character. I thought she was fun. And all the characters they introduced there was fun for the movie and for the story they were telling. And we will have a media madness for Star Wars Rogue One on Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be Tony, Black Critic Guy, is going to be on there. Me and Jay, and we're going to have fun, and we're going to talk Star Wars. So look forward to that. That's going to be on Comic Frontline. Jaden says, hi, Kat. Do you think we'll get an Infinite Crisis-like event for Rebirth? I don't think we need it because we've kind of already had a crisis of their own with DC Rebirth. So I don't think we're going to get another crisis for DC Rebirth. But you never know. I mean, the word crisis is always floating around in the DC universe. Andy says, what are you going to play? F, marry, and kill with you all-time favorite characters. Oh, we are going to play. Oh, man. Well, are you supposed to name the characters? Am I supposed to just name the characters? I think you have to name 3 of them. So, Andy, name 3 characters you think are my favorite, and then we'll go. We're gonna do this. All right. MT, are you getting Klaus and the Witch of Winter one shot that comes out on Wednesday? Probably not, because I haven't, and I think it's Claus. It's either Klaus or Claus, but it's based on Christmas type storyline. I didn't read the original miniseries, but I probably won't get it. But I've heard really good things about the original miniseries, and I'm glad that it's getting a one shot, continuing that story. Now I'm going to go back to Andy's question because I just mentioned his, and I'll go back to yours, all your other questions. So, F, marry, and kill. I don't have Oliver on here, so I guess he will not be in the F category. But all right, let's see. Marry and kill. All right. I guess marry. I would marry Jesse. Thea. Oh, but I can't kill her. Oh, I can't kill any of them. This is hard, Andy. This is really hard. Oh man, I will not kill Thea. Oh man. Oh, Andy. All right, can I just marry them all? I'm marrying all three of them, Andy. That's happening. I can't kill them, any of them. All right, Andy. I'm gonna marry all of them. I broke the rules. But that was a good question. That was a little bit too tough of a question. Okay. And then Andy gave me the characters. I broke your rules. And now he gave me another one. He gave me Sarah, Kara, and Thea. I guess I would kill Kara because I know she would come back. Does that answer a question? I don't know. I think I would kill Kara. Okay. That way she'd come back. She would have to. But Sarah and Thea have come back in the past too. They all come back. They're superheroes. All right, let's go back to your other questions, guys. Waru Crook says, are you excited for the new Spider-Man cartoon? I'm cautiously optimistic. Yeah, I don't know if excited is the word because I'm feeling they're just going to kiddify it again. But I'm going to watch it, and like you said, cautiously very optimistic about it. I will review at least the first episode. I'm trying to review Just League Action. Let me know, guys, if you want that. It looked like the special episode, you guys enjoyed it. Got a lot of views and comments on it, so I might review more episodes, so let me know. We got Lady Kara says, Lady and Kara, it's a sci-fi centered con in Feb, similar to Shore Leave. The headline guests will be Sen Witwer and Enver Goshgurj. That's a fun last name to pronounce. I probably won't be heading to Baltimore. I'm taking, I guess, a little break with cons just for like December. My next con I'm planning is in March. I'm trying to go to. I've not actually done anything, but Big Apple Con seemed interesting. But let me know if there's any other cons that are interesting in the tri-state area. But Lady and Kara, you always go to some really interesting cons. So definitely keep suggesting some, and I'll put them on the map, especially if they're later in the year. That way I can start planning for exhibiting. One I actually just bought tickets for, which Andy will be happy for if he's still in the comments. Heroes and Villains for New York. I just got tickets for, so looking forward to that. And that's in September now. It was originally the week or the weekend of New York Comic Con. I obviously couldn't do that, so I'm glad that they moved it to September. So it's not colliding with New York Comic Con. All right. Next question. Oh, well, this is more of a comment. MT says Jupiter Legacy issue 5 got delayed until. Let me go press the live button. I don't know why it's not showing live in my thing. Anyways, MT says Jupiter Legacy issue 5 got delayed until February. Yeah, I heard. I guess I heard about that. It's been a little while since we got issue 4. I'm happy that Millar's books have been not delayed recently, at least his other books, but Jupiter Legacy always tends to get delayed. I don't know why. Maybe it's the art. Kenneth says, Kat, what in your opinion has not worked so far with the DC EU films? For me, not enough messages of hope. I feel like it's just the personality of characters. I've definitely seen the comments of hope is not shown enough, but I just think, at least for my opinion, I'm not seeing the characterizations I want to see with these characters. But I respect the people that are enjoying the DC EU at the same time. Tom, what do you want from the new X books in February? I want a book about what the F is going on in Xavier's mansion. I love the Teenage Mutant books. Yeah, obviously I'm a huge X-Men fan, and from what I'm seeing, I am very excited for the upcoming X-Men book, especially as a humongous Kitty Pryde fan. I actually still have my little pop on the side. I love my Kitty Pop. But yeah, I just want it to be about mutants again. I feel like that really hasn't been what it's about. It hasn't been about the characters we know and love. And I agree, we need that teen book too. I think Generation X is going to be that book. And just keep out the Inhumans. I'm personally not a fan of the Inhumans, and I think that's a big reason why I just got out of the X-Men, and I don't know, it just didn't really have a direction. I'm trying to describe in words what I haven't been liking about the X-Men, but I think this is going to be going in a good direction, I hope, in this, and then we could get to see even more characters. I would just like to see more mutants in the Marvel Universe in general. Okay, so next, I just make sure I didn't skip any. No, I didn't. I gotta reload some of these comments. Sharon Lynn says, "Who's your favorite? What is my favorite color and actor? I guess. My favorite color is blue. And my favorite actor. Oh man, it's probably from like the DC shows. Melissa Benoist, Stephen Amell, Grant Gustin. Those are definitely my faves right now. We got Batgirl in the comments. Tom says the Just League action is so awesome. Waru, oh, I love Barbara Gordon's comment. I'm Batgirl. I'm Barbara Gordon. I'm Oracle. I'm all damn three. I love that. That's actually a quote from the recent Batgirl in the Birds of Prey comic, which was my pick of the week from this week. Really good book if you're a Barbara fan, as I am. Barbara Gordon says, sorry, it's not a question, but it was a good quote, so no worries. Waru Crook says, Just League Action is currently my favorite cartoon on air. Wow. My favorite cartoon on air right now is definitely, I don't know why I like unlives my videos sometimes. Anyways, my favorite cartoon on air is 100% The Loud House. I love that show. I watch it almost every day. Every day I watch it. I love The Loud House. If you guys don't watch it, it's a brilliant show. Talk about it way too often. Barbara Gordon says, just had to state that since now a matter of fact. I agree. It's a good thing to state. This is actually a really good question. Then I'll go back to the other two. But this is from Barbara Gordon that just kind of goes into what she was saying. Do you prefer me as part of Batgirl or Oracle? You know, this goes back to that awesome Batgirl and the Birds of Prey comic that came out. I think with Barbara, because she's gone through so many different stages of her life, we do have different, we definitely have different favorite stories from her. So you have, a lot of people like her as Oracle, a lot of people like her as Batgirl. For me, I've always been a bigger fan of her as Batgirl, but even though I really respect her time as Oracle, and that's why I love the message that the current Birds of Prey is giving with Batgirl. So yeah, I love her as Batgirl though. I just a little bit more than I do with her as Oracle, but I think her story as Oracle 100% means something and is important. Then we have MT who says, did you watch the Batman animated film with Adam West and Burt Ward? I didn't, just because I've never been a big Batman 66 fan, but I'm glad people that are a fan of that got a cool movie out of it. I heard good stuff. I heard it was fun. Then we have Kenneth who says, Richard Donner, the director of Superman the movie and Superman 2, always talked about versitude. Believe that's what you're make an extraordinary happening. DCEU films need more verisimilitude. I wish I could pronounce that word. Verisimilitude. MT, it's because Frank Quitely takes almost forever. Yeah, that's kind of what it seems like is happening. But he has good art, so we're cool with it. Barbara Gordon, do you think Barbara will play the role of Oracle more now in the Birds of Prey from this point on? I think it's going to be half and half. I think that new Oracle character will play Oracle, but it will be Barbara teaching that character to play Oracle, or to be Oracle, not play Oracle, to be Oracle. but I think we will see her behind the computer screens a little bit more in that book than obviously her Batgirl book. I think we're going to get a nice share. So like I said, if you're a Batgirl fan, you'll have the Batgirl story. But if you're an Oracle fan, I believe you're going to get the Oracle story too. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm very excited to wait and see. Waru Crook says, are you excited for the Damian Wayne Batman game? No, because I haven't played a Batman game in a really long time, so not really. I'm not like the biggest Damian Wayne fan. Like I definitely respect his character, but he's not like one of my favorite Bat characters or characters in at any means. Lady Ankara says the DCEU is certainly its own take, but the anime universe movies make me very happy than anything in cinema. I think the current anime movies are getting to a point that I've been liking them. I've definitely liked the older anime movies a little bit more, but we'll see what the future will take us with the recent anime movies. I am excited for the Judas Contract for that Teen Titans movie coming out. Then we got Jaden who says, hi, Kat, do you think Marvel should go back to being both dark and balanced like in the 90s? No, because they almost went bankrupt in the 90s. So let's not go back to stories of that. Lady Ankara, I actually thought Just League Action was a bit cringy when I saw the trailer and then couldn't stop after one episode. The cast makes up for any of the over-top corniness. Yeah, I think for a 15-minute show, it's enjoyable. I don't like the hour was a little bit long for me because it had the special. I'm like, I don't need to watch this for an hour, but a 15-minute show, I think it's fun. It's not perfect by any means, but I think it's better in Teen Titans Go. But what I said in my review is that I feel like Teen Titans Go and Just League Action should be one show because then it actually would be a cohesive superhero show we know. Because Teen Titans Go does what I like more sometimes of superhero cartoons, the B story and like the fun side story that just builds characters. But Teen Titans Go doesn't build characters and it's not my type of humor. So that's why I don't like the show. But I like the idea of the show. And then Just League Action kind of does the stuff that I like, but only through character development. And that's the action part of the story. But I do like the references a little bit more in Just League Action, and I'm hoping we get to see more character development in upcoming episodes. I mean, I don't think we will, but it's only 15 minutes, so it's not like you're wasting too much time on it. All right, let's see. Waru Crook, I found out that The Loud House actually beats SpongeBob in ratings, which I am so happy about. Yes. Boop says, what do you think of the character Danny Moonstar? Would you like to see her back in the X-Men comics? I didn't read a lot with Danny Moonstar, but I definitely think she would be a cool character to see again. Tom says, are Batgirl and Nightwing together right now? They are not. I mean, we see them like interacting with each other here and there, but they're definitely not together. Even though in the Rebirth holiday special made them seem like they were together, but they are not. Tevia, Kat, do you think Superman Reborn is going to bring back New 52 Superman back from the dead? It might, from what I'm seeing. And Waru Crook asks Tevia a question. MT says, what's happening with Cassandra Cain in Rebirth? I'm just now catching up, so what title is she in? She's only in Detective Comics, and it looks like she's going to have a big arc coming up in March. So that's going to be like the League of Assassins stuff. We need more Cassandra Cain in our lives, and I need more Cassandra and Stephanie, because I love their friendship. Kenneth says, Kat, do you think Jeff Johns, now in charge of DC films for DCEU at Warner Brothers, can be like Kevin Feige of Marvel? I would hope so. But Jeff Johns has been behind some of the movies, and I love Jeff Johns as a comic writer and what he's done with the TV stuff. But like he was behind Green Lantern, and that didn't end up coming out good. So I hope it will, but we'll have to see. All right. Tevia likes Just League Action more than Teen Titans Go. True Jordan Cage, Uno, this is really awesome. How do you thought about using all his comic book villains? Can you iterate which character you're talking about? NT, hold on. Who said Damian Wayne is getting a Batman game? I heard that somewhere also. And Andy mentioned that Jeff pretty much is like Kevin in the DCEU. But yeah, I guess we'll have to see how Justice League and all those movies come out and seeing if those will get a little bit more of fan love. But honestly, Suicide Squad definitely got more love than, or at least less of, well, it still was still very divided, but I felt like it was a little less divided than Batman vs. Superman and Man of Steel. I actually liked Suicide Squad for what it was. So, and then Wonder Woman looks so good. So if anything, hopefully we get a good Wonder Woman movie. Tevia says, Kat, do you think Young Justice Season 3 coming back is going to send a message to the horrible DC animated and Marvel animated shows we have now? I don't think Young Justice will affect Marvel in any way. And Tevia, we talked many times about why Marvel does the animation they do. And with DC animation, I think they're also doing the same thing. They're targeting kids with those shows, and they have other shows that target adults. And now they'll have Young Justice on most likely Netflix. And I don't think it'll affect the DC lineup on Cartoon Network unless the show goes back on Cartoon Network, which I feel is pretty unlikely. Waru Crook says, I like Teen Titans Go, being self-aware with itself. It's just not my type of comedy. But I think the recent episodes are better than the first couple I saw. Tavia, which I think that was the same question about Superman, so I'm going to skip that. Tavia says, Kat, do you think the new so same question I already got about Spider-Man cartoon. True Jordan Cage said, Comic Uno, this is really awesome how you felt about the Flash comic villains using up all his sermons from the comics to the TV show. What, True Jordan, I still don't know what type of question you're asking. So are you saying do you think that the Flash, they should use more Flash comic villains in the show? Try rewording your question. All right. I saw another Mary F and Kill question. We'll get there. Andy, what did you start? Tavia says, speaking of the new Spider-Man cartoon, do you think Spider-Gwen's will get a show? Or is being on this show going to be good? I didn't hear that Spider-Gwen would be on, or because Spider-Gwen was in Ultimate Spider-Man. I think it would be awesome if Spider-Gwen was in the Ultimate, or the Marvel Spider-Man show, but we don't really know what's going to be about besides that it's a high school story. So it might be very much like Spectacular Spider-Man. We don't know. But it would be kind of cool to get other spider heroes. I know that's what Ultimate Spider-Man did, and that's my fear. That's why Marvel Spider-Man won't do it, but it would be cool to get other journeys besides Spider-Man, just because we've gotten so many Spider-Man cartoons, and this is as a super Spider-Man fan saying that. But I would like to see other aspects of the Spider-Man world focus more on, and I know they did that in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, but not so much of character development. It was more, let's fight. Cool, Mary Jane, you're here. Flash, you're here. Let's fight. So I'm hoping with this new cartoon it'd be kind of cool if it was more character driven, which I don't think it will be, but I guess you never know. Oh, wow, a lot of the Spider-Man cartoon questions. What are your thoughts on the new Spider-Man cartoon having Miles and Spider-Gwen while Peter is still in high school? Is this a thing? Was this confirmed? Because if it is, I just got a lot more excited for the Spider-Man cartoon. Please let me know in the comments below if this is a thing, because I need to know. Lady Ankara, I am an odd one out in enjoying Green Lantern. I think it failed because it was too based in the comics and didn't appeal to the wide audience. I didn't hate Green Lantern as much as other people, but I still haven't watched it since the movie, since I saw it in theaters. So I think it's a shame that they can't. I want them to do more with Carol Ferris, and I have a feeling they won't because of that movie. So I think that's the only shame after that movie failed. Because now you're gonna get Green Lantern Corps, you'll get Guy Gardner, you'll get Jon Stewart, and all that. Hopefully, we still don't know which characters they're gonna use, but most likely those are the characters they're gonna use, and Kyle Rayner. But yeah, I wish Carol could be in the mix. I don't think she would, but it'd be nice. So we got some Green Lantern love in the comments. The Omnitrons, if they do a Damian Wayne game, how do you see them doing it? I don't know. I would hope that Batman wouldn't be in it that much. You know what I would see? I would see them starting him in League of Assassins. So that would be like the beginning of the game. And then like maybe meeting up with Batman and like his journey of becoming Robin. I haven't played the Telltale games enough to tell you what the story would be, but I think it'd be really cool to start out in the League of Assassins. Tom's asking if Ultimate Spider-Man's still on air. I think they have like 3 more episodes, and then it'll be going off air. I mean, they had a long run, so. MT, Comixology is having a sale with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur and Old Man Logan. Would you recommend them? I don't read either title. Old Man Logan, I probably recommend more because I know a lot of people enjoy it. I just don't really care about the character that much, even though I do like regular Logan. I don't care about Old Man Logan too much. And then Moon Girl, my good friends Brant and Jay love Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, but I didn't really like it. I thought she was a little bit too cocky sometimes. I just don't really like those type of characters, but I know people that do really like her characters. So I say at least give issue 1 a try and see if you like it. Wally West, I just started a new comic book club at my school. Any suggestions on what club should essentially do? Wow, that's really cool that you did that. I wish I had a comic book club in high school. But I've seen comic book clubs kind of become more of a thing now. Actually do a con, I guess now every year. I just did it one last year. It's a Staten Island con, which is based in a high school, and it's formed this convention through the comic book club they have, which is really cool, and it's like a cool community thing they do. So it's awesome that we're seeing more of that. I think in high school we had an anime club. That's it. I was not part of the anime club, but I remember they had that. But no comic book club, sadly. Going back to what you should do with a comic book club, I would say maybe like a single issue that everyone could read. That'd be cool. Like going there and having a discussion about a comic book, or even just what's going on in comics now. Like pull out a news piece or interesting topic that you guys could talk about. Or also poll your club and saying, what do you want out of this club? That way you could see what other people want out of it. Maybe they're into the movies, the TV show, and you could add that into the club. So definitely take a survey before anything to see what people want out of it. That way everyone could be happy with the club. Hopefully that's helpful information. I remember in high school I almost did a movie discussion club, and we only had 1 meeting, and then we didn't do anything else after that. That's a short story, but it's a story. All right, next question. Terrence thinks that Young Justice fits better on Netflix. This is the Mary F. Kill. Stephanie Brown, Kamala, Barbara Gordon. You guys are not giving me. Well, you're giving me wonderful choices, but I have to kill one of them. That's hard. All right. Mary. I think that's always the easiest. Is Mary. Who would I marry? Probably marry Stephanie. All right. Still no Oliver Queen, so this gets harder and harder for the F category. You guys make it hard. I guess let's try kill. Who am I gonna kill off? I don't want to kill any of these characters off, guys. You're making it too hard. I always just mention Mary, so I guess I'll only answer Mary and say Stephanie, and then you guys will have to pick F and kill because I can't pick. It's too hard. All right, moving on. Is Tevia? I'm happy about Young Justice season 3. Waru Crook wants a Blue Beetle cartoon. That'd be interesting. I don't know if Blue Beetle can hold his own cartoon, but it would be interesting. And it's nice that we've seen him in Young Justice. Tevia says, Kat, do you think the return of Norman Osborn is going to end Parker Industries a lot sooner? I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know what Dan Slott's plan of Parker Industries is going to be. But, and he says, well, you want to sleep with Ollie, why? Because Stephen Amell, Andy. Stephen Amell. Oh. I would have to pick Oliver. But yeah, he's probably not the best. He wouldn't be the best boyfriend, but it's a fun game. F, marry, kill. But yes, definitely Oliver. Come on, Andy. Give Oliver some love. All right, let's see the next question. Omnitron, thoughts on Miles Morales dating Spider-Gwen? I really don't care for it since I feel it's only happening because they're both popular and have Spider in their name. I'm interested. I do agree they might have just thought that. It's like, Miles, Gwen, they're not dating anyone. Let's do it. But they aren't dating anyone. So it'll be kind of nice to discover what their love life will be about. And also, I think what would be interesting is that you do have a high school student dating technically a college-age student. So how does that affect the relationship? I think that'll be interesting. They literally are having a long-distance relationship from other dimensions. So that's going to be interesting, too. So I think there's a lot of interesting story you could do with it. So that's why I'm really excited for it. And I also love Miles and Gwen. So they're two characters I really care about. So I am interested to see what they do with it. I hope it's not one of those like publicity things like they have Spider in their name and we're just going to use it as a crossover. I really hope they could do an interesting story with it. Andy says Spider-Man TV rights is something Marvel doesn't have. Yeah, the rights for Spider-Man are a little bit confusing. Let's see. I have to scroll back up. Tom says he doesn't want Gwen to date Miles either, but I think it'd be interesting. Waru thinks that Miles should be with Kamala. I kind of like Sam, Miles, and Kamala just having a friendship. I feel like they did the whole love triangle thing with a very similar friendship with Cass, Tim, and Connor. So I kind of like to see that trio just keep a friendship. I feel like the love triangle is a little bit too obvious. Timothy, howdy. What are your favorite female characters this year in comic books? That's a good question because obviously, you know, favorite Spider-Girl, Kitty. I thought Kitty had a better year, and I just turned off the heat, which my heat has to like reboot itself when you turn it on and off. So now I'm cold. Anyways, this year, I thought that Jessica Drew had a really good year. Ms. Marvel, Wonder Woman had a really good year. Cassie Lang had a great year. I really liked Zoe Zimmer in Ms. Marvel this week. This year. I thought her character developed so much. You're going to see a lot of articles that I post. I'm going to put Zoe Zimmer a lot in them. So I really liked Zoe. Yeah, so those are some characters to name. A lot of the Marvel characters, or at least a lot of Marvel female characters had a good year. Okay, moving on to Jaden. Hey, Kat, you think Tara should get a redemption arc? Yeah, that would be cool to see more of Tara in general. Terrence says, hey, Kat, do you think the DC Cinematic Universe is putting Cyborg on the back burner to make room for Gotham City Sirens and the Batman? I still don't know why we need a Cyborg movie. I like that Cyborg's in the DC universe, extended universe, but I never thought Cyborg could hold his own movie. I kind of wish he had like a team up movie with somebody instead. Like Flash and Cyborg might be fun. Like if they did that. I just don't know if he can hold his own movie. So we'll see though. We'll see if he can when the movie does come out. But yeah, I do think it probably was pushed back a little, either because they're like, oh, what are we going to do with Cyborg in his own movie? Or now because they have Gotham City Sirens and Batman. MT, did you ever watch a Spider-Man CGI cartoon with Neil Patrick Harris as Spider-Man? I was never a hardcore fan of that, but I have seen episodes here and there of the cartoon because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan and TV fan. Waru says having Miles and Gwen on the show makes me scared. I want to see this news. I have not seen that Miles and Gwen are going to be on the show. You guys have to send me a link in the comments because now that Miles and Gwen are on the show, that's cool. I'm excited for that. Because again, I mean, we've seen the Spider-Man cartoon a lot in recent years. You know, it's something that's been done before. But if you focus more on just Peter, I think that could, in high school, I mean, Gwen, Miles, that's really interesting. I am now really excited. So if this is true, please let me know. Now I just got a lot more excited for that cartoon. But it seems like other people are scared. I mean, you don't have to watch it. I mean, there's been cartoons that failed a lot that if it's bad, you know, you just don't watch it. But if it's good, you got a good show to watch. Tevia, Kat, do you think Telltale will ever give us a Superman game? Maybe. I think it's a possibility. But I know Superman games, I don't think they sell as well, obviously, as Batman games. But maybe if they do a Batman and Superman game, I could see them doing that. But I don't know enough about the Telltale games to really give you an answer to that. Terrence, will we ever get a good live-action Batman series like Smallville? I would love that to happen. I don't think we will because we have Gotham going on right now. So that's the designated Batman show. I'm gonna try putting this heat on again. It's not going. Hopefully it'll go on soon because I'm cold. But yeah, I think in our lifetime we'll see it. I think it'll happen one day. And if not live action, maybe another good animated Batman show would be nice. Tom says, I read Moon Girl issue 13, and how many times do you have to mention that she's the smartest person ever? Yeah, I only read the first arc, I think, and it wasn't my thing. Tevia, Kat, do you think DC animated movie Justice League Dark is going to be great and amazing? I don't know. Again, I'm not a huge fan of the magic side of DC. So I don't know if it's going to be my personal preference. I think it might be great for people that love those characters like Constantine. I just don't like those characters that much. I never felt attached to them besides Zatanna I've enjoyed. So we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to personally like it, but of course I'll review it. And we're going to do a Media Madness on it too. So you could check my opinions then. Timothy, this isn't really a question, but I would prefer not to have Young Justice Season 3 on Netflix because I like the suspense of week-to-week episodes and show provides, I think it's garner more hype that way. I think it's possible for Netflix to not do a binge method for this. I think they would, but I think it is possible, and I agree. I like the week after week hype for a show like Young Justice too, because I think when you binge it, you kind of just not forget about it, but you get less talk about it. But when you have it every week, you get to talk about it more. You know, you get to speculate, and I agree with a show like Young Justice, that's good. But Netflix has done in the past, episode by episode. It's rare, but they've done it. So I think it's possible if they do that with Young Justice, if it's going on Netflix, which I think it is. It's just a matter of time when they announce it. MT says, there's also a sale on Jeff Johns, Grant Morrison, and Mark Waid's run on Justice League. Yeah, so there's a lot of great stuff on sale for, I'm sure, because of the holidays. Omnitron, Eddie, Brock, Venom, or Flash Thompson Venom? Who's your favorite? As a villain, obviously Eddie Brock. I mean, he is Venom. But personally, like, who I like reading more is Flash. I like Flash Thompson's Venom as a story, but as a villain, you know, popping up in Spider-Man, of course, our original Venom, Eddie Brock. Tevia, Kat, do you think Flash Thompson Venom's going to be gone is a mistake? I don't know if it's a mistake because I feel like Flash Thompson's Venom hasn't been able to really hold his own story. And I think that's what Marvel wants right now for Venom. And that's why they got this new character showing up. But yeah, I think he works better when he's in a Guardians of the Galaxy type story or obviously in a Spider-Man book or even a mini series, I think he would work better in, because his other series didn't do great. So I think they're just trying to try something else out. I think they should just have Eddie Brock and do that. But at the same time, can Venom hold his own series? I don't know. I think that's the real question, more than if Flash Thompson can hold his own series. All right, we got Super Gaming. You owe me $20. Nice channel, BTW. Thanks for making it. Awesome. MT, did you see the trailer for Blade Runner 2049? I have not. Oh, I see an F, Mary, Kill. That might be a little bit easier coming up. All right. Let me see. Oh, I missed Andy's comment. Wait, for real? You got a crush on Stephen Amell? Hell yes. How long have you known me? Jay and pretty much everyone on Comic Frontline makes fun of my crush on Stephen Amell. Tevia says, Kat, do you think if Renew Your Vows succeeds? Okay, I've answered this before, Tevia, and other stuff, so I just don't want to be repetitive for that one. MT says, I always thought they would pair Miles and Kamala. I don't know. Again, I like them as friends more. A lot of people asked about Blade Runner trailer. I've not seen it. Marry, F, and kill. This is a lot easier. Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, and Damian Wayne. F, Dick Grayson. Jason Todd, or who the hell am I going to marry? Can I marry Dick Grayson too? I guess out of this, oh man, they're both bad to marry. Oh, okay. All right, better. Marry Dick Grayson, F Jason Todd, Damian Wayne, I would kill. I think that was a lot easier one than the other grouping. Okay. Superior Gaming, Miles should be, wow, a lot of people want Miles with Kamala. Superior Gaming also acts as Image Good. I'm guessing you mean the comic company. Yeah, there's a lot of great titles from Image. I think there was a lot of titles for everybody from the company, which is great. Waru says, does anyone remember Bombshell from the Miles comic? Yeah, she's in the current Spider-Man book, so I definitely remember her. She was definitely more prominent in the other books, though. Tevia asks, oh, this is a good question. Kat, do you think Mary Jane had a bad year in Iron Man? I don't know about a bad year, because she was utilized, and maybe I liked her more in 2015, though, because her intro was really good, but then they didn't really utilize her in Invincible Iron Man. So, yeah, I would say, yeah, she did have a bad year this year. She wasn't utilized as much as she could have in the Iron Man title. Here, let me load up these questions. Let's see. MT says, do you think Batman and Wonder Woman could be a thing in the Justice League film like they hinted at in the cartoon? I would love that, and I feel like they have hinted it in the movie. I think that's a couple that makes a lot of sense. If Wonder Woman's not with Steve, yes, Batman and Wonder Woman. Because the Superman-Wonder Woman relationship never made sense because they're too similar. Their personalities are very similar. Their powers are very similar. But Batman and Wonder Woman have that complexity of their relationship, that they're very different, but that's, I think, would make them work. And I think Batman could be a better person with Wonder Woman. So yes, I would love to see that. All right. Tevia misses Ultimate Spider-Woman. I miss Jessica Drew too. She was a good character. A lot of people are saying that Cyborg doesn't need a movie. Waru says that they want fun Cyborg, which I agree. I like that sort of Cyborg better. But at the same time, that's a secondary character. I don't think you need fun Cyborg as a main character. I think he's better as a comedic relief. Amitron says the main problem with Cyborg is he's never had a real villain or any real established city or supporting characters he didn't meet while on the team he was on. 100% agree. He's never really had an ongoing series for himself until now because they want to push the movie. But he doesn't really have supporting characters besides, I guess, his father. And again, the teammates he's had. He's never really had a city besides, like, you know, he's been on the Teen Titans. He's been on Justice League. So he's always been a team character. He's never really been a main character. And maybe that'll change over the years if, you know, this main title did well. But I haven't really seen a lot of people talking about the main title that he has right now. So I don't really know what's the push for Cyborg to have his own movie. I think he's good as a team character. MT says, did you read Jill Thompson's Wonder Woman graphic novel? I don't think I have. Tom says, do you think that we're going to get a live action Robin or maybe Nightwing anytime soon? I think one day, or live action. I think one day we will, I hope. I mean, he's obviously a very important character. Tevia says, I can't send the link in the live chat, Kat, to give you the news. Tevia, send it through Facebook or Twitter. MT, have you ever played Tales from the Borderlands from Telltale? I haven't really played any Telltale games, actually, so no, I have not. Waru Crook, do you want Damian Wayne and Raven to be a couple in the Teen Titans Judas Contract animated movie? That would be weird as hell. Are they gonna be in the Judas Contract? I don't think Damian's gotta be in it, because he didn't exist during that time, unless they're like doing the New 52 type storyline. I thought they were doing the storyline from the comic though, so I might be wrong, but I guess we'll see. Tom, are you excited for Iron Fist, and do you think that they're going to spend a lot of money on CGI? I want him to fight the dragon. I'm really excited for Iron Fist. I'm a huge fan of martial arts, especially in television, so I am very excited to see what they do with that aspect in the show. Jesse Johnson says hi. Hey. Let me reload these comments a bit because they're speeding up. Okay. MT, did you hear Magneto got beat with a wooden gun one time? I heard about that story from Chris's podcast. Tevia, Kat, do you think we are ever going to send John and Connor Kent ever? Do you think we're going to see them team up? I think one day we will. We got to see Connor come back of the DC Rebirth first. All right, let's try putting this heat on again. Yay, it's working now. All right, Terrence, is there a past TV series that you completely binge watch from start to finish every year or so? Mine would be season 1 and 2 of Arrow and all 10 seasons of Smallville. Yeah, there's definitely shows I rewatch. Heroes being one. Secret World of Alex Mack being another. Those are 2 big ones. Roswell. Smallville, I don't tend to like re-binge the whole thing, but I'll watch episodes here and there. I love Smallville. It's a show I grew up with. And yeah, Arrow, Supergirl, Flash. I actually only watch episodes here and there too, though. I don't think I've ever like re-binged the whole season straight forward. I've just watched the episodes I really like or scenes I really like. Those are some to name, though. Secret World of Alex Mack, though, I watched all the way through almost every year. Omnitron, Miles, and Kamala do make more sense as you get the same check boxes you do with Gwen and Miles, and not the creepiness of an adult dating a 15-year-old kid. Yes, there is creepiness. That is one thing I'm wondering if they're going to counter, that she's like 19 or 20 and he's 15. And, you know, 5 years is not a big age difference when you're in your 20s or in your 30s, but it is a big age difference when you're a teenager and like college age. So wonder if they're going to tackle that. We'll see. Waru Crook, which young Marvel character deserves the Jason Crowbar treatment? I don't think anyone deserves the Jason Todd Crowbar treatment. Oh man, I don't want to. No, nobody, no young teen deserves that. Tevia, Kat, do you think we are ever going to get Super Sons John and Damian Wayne animated movie someday? Because I really want to see this happen. I don't think now, just because we haven't even seen Super Sons released yet, but one day across the line, if it's successful, I'm sure we'll get an animated movie. Waru Crook says, I thought Spider-Gwen was a teen. Ooh, Bendis, stop. Yeah, Gwen is like 19 or 20. If she's not 20, she's 19, because she's supposed to be like college age. she's not in high school anymore, so she's a young adult. She's more of a young adult than Miles, so that's definitely a little bit of the creepiness level that I think we've all just revealed here that I personally didn't even notice until now. Timothy, non-superhero movie you're looking forward to next year. Oh, wow. Non-superhero, does Mighty Morphin Power Rangers count? I don't know. I have to, like, look at the list of what's coming out. Because there's obviously a lot of superhero movies I'm looking forward to. Wonder Woman, Lego Batman, I'm really looking forward to. But yeah, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I'm really, really excited for. I technically counts as a superhero movie. A lot of the dramas I tend to see, like a couple of months in advance, but not like a year in advance. Like I'll be like, oh, that looks cool. Like I want to see La La Land. Excited for that. Hopefully see that one day. I want to see The Edge of 17. Still haven't seen that. Obviously the superhero movies is what I make time to go see in the movie theaters. Especially to give my thoughts out to you guys. And not to be spoiled by you guys. Tevye says Spider-Gwen is a teen. Technically, she's not. She is definitely over 18, Tevye, because she's not in high school anymore, and she is college age, and she's been a young adult for a year or two, so she's definitely 18, 19, or 20. So she's not a teen anymore. Tevye says John Wick 2, I'm looking forward to. I haven't seen the first one. I heard good things. Tevye, Batman and Wonder Woman relationship does make sense. And Waru says, see you. Oh, yeah, Kingsman. But that counts as like a comic book movie. I'm excited for John Wick 2, and I really want Kingsman trailer now. Yeah, I'm excited for Kingsman. I got to see that really early when that came out, like in November, compared to like, I think it came out in February. So I got a really early screening for that, and I loved it. And the friends I went with loved it so much. They went to go see it like 5 or 6 times. Tevye says he sent me the link. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to looking into that. Let me see how long I've been on. Okay, it's only been an hour. Let's see. MT says, I really hope Cyborg in Justice League yells booyah. I don't think we're going to get that in the live action Justice League, but I guess you never know. Barbara Gordon says that she has to go to bed. Thank you for joining me. Omnitron says Spider-Gwen is in college. I don't think she's taking college courses, though. Like, she's the age of a college student, but we don't see her in college if she is in any college courses. She might have mentioned that she's taking a course, but I don't know. She's definitely not going to class if she's in college, but she's definitely college-aged. I know that she's focusing a lot on her music career. MT, what's the most messed up thing Grant Morrison has ever wrote in a comic book that you've read? I don't know about messed up, but thing I didn't really like, it was very confusing, was Multiversity. All right, next is Tevye, Kat, do you think we are ever going to get Mary Jane back in the main Spider-Man book? I think one day, yes, we will see her back in the Spider-Man book. I mean, we saw her last year there. She wasn't even a main character, but she was in the issues. I'm sure we will. MT, do you think David Lynch and Grant Morrison should team up? I personally don't think the world is ready for that. Yeah, I don't think the world is ready for that either. Although David Lynch's work, I understand more than Grant Morrison's work, and I don't want to say understand. I can analyze David Lynch's work more and appreciate his work more than Grant Morrison's. But yeah, I don't think the world is ready for them to team up together. The Omnitron, also not to harp on the Gwen and Miles thing, but I think it also shrinks her universe a bit to have her date outside her own universe. True. It would be interesting to see her date someone in her own universe first. Tevye, do you think Bendis is ever going to go away from Marvel? I think Bendis has some good titles from Marvel, and he makes a good career with Marvel, so I don't think he'll be going away from Marvel anytime soon. MT, I think Jason Todd got off easy compared to Tim Drake and Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker. Jason Todd had a pretty gruesome death, though. Tevye says, that's true. So, yeah, Spider-Gwen and Miles being a couple, yeah, does sound kind of creepy. MT says, I think Rami Malek from Mr. Robot would play a good Jason Todd. think he might be a little bit too old for Jason Todd, but maybe if they're going for an older version, that would be, he could play a good Jason Todd. Yeah, so Tom said, isn't he 40? MT says he's in his early 30s. Tevia, speaking of Spire Girl, do you think now that Cassie is Stinger, do you think the MC2 universe is coming closer and closer to reality? I don't know. I know there's definitely titles and books that are utilizing the MC2 mythology. Spider Woman being one. You got Jerry, which is Spider Woman's son's name, and that's from the MC2. Then you have Stinger, which is also from the MC2 mythology. So I think they're definitely utilizing the mythology. Also, I mean, you have Renew Your Vows, where you have Normie showing up. So definitely using the mythology of MC2 if people don't even notice it. You know, it's from MC2, but all of those things are from the MC2 and were established in the MC2. All right, moving on. Tom says, is anybody here reading Silk? Yes, I am. I really like the title. I like the character and the psychological story they're taking with her. Tevia is asking if Spire Girl May will ever come back soon. I would hope so, for my sake. Tevia says that Silk is now trapped in the clone conspiracy nonsense. I've actually really liked her tie-in the clone conspiracy, bringing back Maddie Franklin and bringing more story to J. Jonah Jameson. Tom says that, do you like the art style for Silk? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the art style. That's something that does pull me away from it. MT, have you played any new video games? I recommend Borderland. I've been playing NBA 2K17. That's like the addicted game I have. Playing the new Call of Duty. I don't think it's great, but I do love Call of Duty. So I like playing the newer versions, even though definitely the last game was better. I just don't like the maps for this one. They're a little bit too spacious for me. I like when they have like the more close maps, kind of like Nuketown and Hijack was a good map. I wish they would do something like that, but we'll see. We'll see if any DLC comes out for that. What other games? I got whatever that card game, friend. I don't know how to pronounce it. Forzen. I just got that. I played a little bit of it. We'll see if I can get into it. But those are the recent games. I like those type of games, like things I feel like you can play by yourself, and it's not more. For some reason, I don't like the story-based games as much because I feel like everyone's playing it. You know, like there's nothing really to defeat. Like, I feel like you get your own experience with these games, like NBA 2K and Call of Duty, things like that. I do want to get Mirror's Edge, though. I still haven't gotten it, and I'm a huge Mirror's Edge fan. Also, I play, like, Rock Band. I love Rock Band. And we'll see what that new Nintendo system will bring us. Kenneth, Kat, do you think in DC Rebirth pre-New 52, post-Crisis Superman will meet Supergirl at some point in either of the Superman books? I'm sure they will at some point. Tevia asks, do you think Clone Conspiracy is bullshit? No, I think actually it's one of Dan Slott's best story arcs he's done ever. So I do not think it's bullshit. I think it's a great book so far. I mean, I haven't read the ending, but I'm really liking it so far. MT, am I the only one who saw the Logan trailer and thought about The Last of Us? I have not played The Last of Us, so I didn't think about it. But I did think very much about Western movies, which I think everyone did. MT says we should call it The Last of Logan. That would have been a good title. Timothy, favorite music this year? I would ask albums, but not sure if anyone still does albums. That's hard, you know. I do albums, but definitely not as much as like, hey, I like this song. But I really liked Switchfoot's album this year. And what is it called? Searching for the Light. I really like that one. It's something light. See, that's how much and that's my favorite band, and for some reason I'm blanking on the album name. I saw them in concert finally this year, and that was amazing. And then, I like listening to older music, and finding older music is nice. But yeah, I think out of the new albums coming out, that was my favorite, was the Switchfoot album. All right, moving on to Spanish Heart. What do you think of Abnett's Aquaman so far? I'm loving what he's done with him and Mera so far. I've never been a big Aquaman fan, and I'm not reading it because I read the first couple issues and it just wasn't my thing. Aquaman's just not my thing for some reason. I've always tried to get into him, but even Jeff Johns series I couldn't get into, so I just don't think the character was for me. Tevia, Kat, do you think Ben Reilly and Kane are going to die at the end of this entire series? No, I don't think Ben Reilly's going to die. I don't know about Kane, but I don't think Ben will die. The Omnitron, if you could bring back one obscure character for a big event you may not be a big fan of, but have a passing interest in, who would it be? So a character I feel very nonchalant about, it seems like. For a big event you may not be a big fan of, but have a passing interest in, who would it be? I am a fan of this character. I guess I'm not like the biggest, oh my god, top tier character, but Hope Summers I would really like to see again. She's not so much obscure, but I think forgotten a little bit. So I would like to see Hope in a bigger role. I don't know if that really answers the question. Always bring back Power Pack. For some reason in my mind, I feel like people know what the Power Pack is, but usually people don't. So Julie would be really nice to bring back. And she's a favorite character of mine. I love Julie Power, so more Julie Power, please. Let's see. MT, when Dan Slott leaves Spider-Man, I'd love to see Rick Remender or Grant Morrison write with Greg Capullo's artwork. I would not like to see Grant Morrison write it, but Rick Remender could be interesting. I actually would like to see what Brian Michael Bendis would do with The Amazing Spider-Man. Who else would I like? Mark Millar, too, would be interesting. Tevia, Kat, do you think Marvel needs to stop treating X-Men? Well, we talked about X-Men Resurrection, Tevia, so that's kind of my answer to that. MT, Kane from Spider-Man should change his name to Kenny. He should, honestly. I agree with that. Jesse Johnson, Kat, are you excited for Justice League versus Suicide Squad? I've actually gotten that question a lot. Excited is not the word, because I don't really like what's going on in Justice League right now, and I don't read Suicide Squad, but I'm going to pick it up, and I'll review it for you guys, at least the first issue, but I wouldn't say excited. I am excited for Justice League of America, though. I am excited for that book, which spins out of Justice League versus Suicide Squad. Shanti, Kat, have you read Shade the Changing Girl? If so, what do you like? Do you like it? Yes, I have been reading it, but I might drop it. It's definitely not my favorite book. It's a little weird for me, but it wasn't as weird as Doom Patrol, and I liked it more than Mother Panic. So I was like, I'll give it a try. And I do like the concept, but none of the characters are likable to me. The book I like the most so far from Young Animals is definitely Cave Carson. Has a cybernetic eye. I look forward to that every month. So out of all of them, that's the one I like the most. I am still reading Shade. We'll see for how long. Tevia, Kat, when Dan Slott leaves Amazing Spider-Man, do you want Jerry Conway to write Spider-Man? I think he's good with Renew Your Vows. I don't think he needs to write Amazing Spider-Man 2. I would like to see a different writer on the book. Omnitron. Personally, I've always wondered why we never had a Power Pack cartoon. Well, we almost had a live-action show. There's a pilot out there if you want to see a really fuzzy pilot. It's not like good quality, but I would love a Power Pack cartoon. Oh man, more Power Pack, please. I love those characters, and I feel like they don't get enough love. They need an ongoing series. I think they really need. I think Marvel needs to showcase them more, especially now that they're older. They were the youngest heroes, but now in the continuity that they have, they're older. I think Katie and Jack are probably either upper middle school or high school. Katie's probably in middle school. Jack is probably in high school by now. And then you got Julie, who's college age, and then Alex, who's kind of college age, kind of adulthood age. And that's interesting because they were the youngest superheroes. And there's a lot of places you could go with it. Julie's latest arc, or this was a couple of years ago, but you know, with Marvel wanting to do more with diversity, Julie was a bisexual character and they built it up very well. So that would be interesting to explore too. I always wondered if the parents ever knew that they were in the Power Pack, because the old Power Pack series, they didn't. So it'd be interesting if they knew. So yeah, let's see more of them. I think there's so much story to explore with those characters, because you could also do kind of child star syndrome with them too, because they never really had a childhood because they were superheroes as they were kids. So I think that could be interesting, of them trying to like search for themselves as adults. A lot of things you could do with the Power Pack. All right, moving on to. Oh, this is a good question. Jesse Johnson, random, but do you like Dazzler from X-Men? I love Dazzler, actually. That's another character I don't think gets enough love. I you know, I've always had a lot of ideas for Dazzler too, not just Power Pack, but Dazzler is interesting because she showed up in the disco age. So obviously disco is not really around anymore, but I think Dazzler could be such an interesting character to look at music and music history and how she can recreate herself in her music career. And that's something I feel like they haven't done with Dazzler in a long time, surprisingly. You know, Dazzler, what I loved about her character is that she wasn't an X-Men, really. She was a mutant, but she never wanted to be part of the X-Men. She would like go on events here and there. She would go in these story, you know, little stories, but she always wanted to be a musician. Even though her parents wanted her to be a lawyer, but she always wanted to do that. And it was interesting that they explored that side of her more than being an X-Men and doing that story, because every mutant, they always join the X-Men. So it's nice to see a story that wasn't about that. And like I said, it would have been interesting to explore music through that. I recently, you know, before I graduated, took a class on like the industry of music, and it was interesting that disco actually pretty much created hip hop. I think that could be interesting to look at in a story like Dazzler, you know. So I would love to see Dazzler showcase more, but more on the music side. I think they've concentrated so much on her being a shield agent and doing all these other stuff, but go back to basics with Dazzler. She's a great character. As you can see, I love the character. I remember when you know, I was younger, going to a comic book store, I would always pick up a Dazzler back issue because she was fun. She just had a really fun story. Something really different back then. So it was very much a test to its time too. All right. Next question. Tubby asked me if IVX event is completely pointless. I'm not reading it, so I can't tell you. But I guess it also tells you that I guess I do feel like it's pointless. Timothy, favorite 90s cartoon? Hey Arnold, definitely. And I guess Batman the Anime series. MT, oh, hold on. MT says, what do you think about the idea that Joker is actually super sane, where he's actually more sane than anyone in the DC universe and changes his personality with every coming era? It would be an interesting Elseworld story to explore. I think that would be kind of cool. And something that technically hasn't been done with the Joker. Tevye agrees that the Power Pack needs an ongoing. Jesse Johnson, Kat, what are your thoughts on Reborn? I would have loved to spend more time with older Bonnie. I thought it had a, you know, it's having a really good start. It's kind of falling in the Millard trope, though, that it has more issues than it needs. That it's kind of a little slower right now, but I'm sure it'll pick up in the end. But yeah, I'm liking it. I think it's a really cool concept, and I look forward to read it every month. Tom says, I want The Thing, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comic. Ha. That was a horrible sound effect of me trying to say ha ha ha. Anyways, Tevye, Kat, why does Marvel... All right, so I'm going to skip that because Tevye definitely asked that before. Let's see. Timothy, I think you mentioned some time ago that you started to watch anime. How's that going? I have. I haven't been like a hardcore anime watcher, but I definitely like watching anime here and there. And if you guys have any suggestions for anime, let me know. I'm not like currently watching anything. I've been looking for something to watch anime wise. To find, but I always like seeing that in anime. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Your Name, the anime movie coming out. I really want to see that in English dub. Also Digimon, obviously Digimon Try. I've been watching and reviewing. So that's what I've been watching so far. But if you guys have any recommendations, let me know. Timothy asks my favorite Christmas gift. Ever? I've told this story a couple of times, but I remember my first DS was my favorite present because my mom, like, under the tree, she told me already, hey, we're not getting, you're not getting the DS this year because I couldn't find it. I'm like, oh, what can you do? And then when I went to my grandma's house later that day, she gave it as a Christmas present to surprise me. So that was definitely my best Christmas gift. Another good Christmas gift I got was I got this movable Batman picture that I remember seeing as a kid at a Warner Brothers store that does not exist anymore. But we used to go there a lot as a kid, and I remember seeing it, and I always talked about it. I'm like, I wish I got it when I was younger. I'd never seen it before, and then that was another gift my mom got me was the movable Batman the Animated Series picture. So that's a cool one. My mom is very good at giving Christmas gifts. Tevia, Kat, do you think the Defenders live action Netflix show is going to be amazing? I hope so. Tevia, do you believe Tony Stark's gonna never come back? No, I do not believe that. MT, actually, Kat is already done in Arkham Asylum in the first half of Grant Morrison's Batman run. I feel like it hasn't been done because Arkham Asylum I haven't. I played Arkham Asylum. I feel like it hasn't really been done recently, so it'd be kind of cool to. But I would like to see more an Elseworld story, and then they have the whole Three Joker thing going on. But I haven't read Grant Morrison's Batman, so I couldn't tell you about that one. But Arkham Asylum, I guess, the game you're talking about. Did they do that? I don't know. All right. Tevia, Kat, do you believe DC Rebirth has succeeded? Or we definitely have asked that before, Tevia, so I gotta skip that. Timothy, thoughts on Cars 3 trailer? Very surprising. I never wanted a Cars movie, another Cars movie, but now I kind of want to see it because they're definitely went a different direction than I expected. So I'm actually interested in Cars 3 because of that trailer. Kenneth, Kat, what's your opinion on Daisy Johnson now being a part of the Marvel Comics universe coming up in Secret Warriors? I think it's cool. I don't have a huge opinion on it. Tevia, Kat, I speak of anime. What is your opinion on My Hero Academia? It looks cool, but it looks a little bit more. I mean, I haven't seen it, so I don't know if it's really character driven or not. But it looks more action driven. It looks more action driven. But I've seen stuff about it, but I haven't seen it myself, so I could be totally wrong. MT says watch Gundam. Heard of it. I'm gonna actually, and I have more people asking me about Gundam. I've heard of it. I'm looking up what it. Oh, because it's a lot. It's very mecha. What's the main character? What do they do? Do they only fight? What's it about? Jesse Johnson, Kat, I was surprised you liked the latest Batgirl, The Birds of Prey. The reveal of who the mystery Oracle was a little disappointing. I loved it. I think because it was less about the reveal, and it was more about Barbara as Oracle. And I really enjoyed it. I as a Barbara fan, I thought they did very well justice to her character. MT says, hey, Kat, have you watched Falling Skies, Fargo, or The Strain? I haven't seen any of them, although I wanted to see Fargo because that's really easy to watch because it's only like every season. They have a different story. I haven't seen any of them. The Strain, I've seen parts of. I think I sat through a panel at San Diego for it just because I had another panel after. Didn't really seem interesting to me, or at least just for me. But I know Mike Spyerslayer is a big, or at least is a fan of The Strain. I know he was watching it. Timothy says, "Do you still watch Girl Meets World?" Here and there, I've seen episodes. I haven't like been watching episode by episode, but it definitely seems like it's improving as a show every season. NT, does anyone know what time period The Incredibles is set in? I'm hoping the original Incredibles or Incredibles 2. Well, the Incredibles 2, I'm hoping they do the age gap that we've seen, so or been living through. So like 10 years, 15 years would be nice, or even just a 10-year jump. I don't want to see them right after the first movie. It'd be nice. Incredibles is literally one of my favorite movies of all time. Maybe my favorite movie of all time, next to Little Mermaid. So I love The Incredibles. I am too much anticipating Incredibles 2. Jesse Johnson says, Kat, have you seen the new anime film, Your Name? I heard it's incredible. That's the one I was talking about before that I need to see. I want to see an English dub, though, so I am waiting until it hits theaters, and then I will definitely go see it because I'm really excited about that one. I really like the concept. Timothy, Incredibles is same time period as Batman the Anime series. Tom, is anybody here reading Gotham Academy? I'm not, but you should talk to Jay from Comic Frontline because he's like the biggest Gotham Academy fan I've ever seen. So go talk to him. He loves the comic. Tevia says, Kat, do you believe Barbara should become Oracle again? Because in my opinion, I love Barbara Gordon as Oracle. I did talk about this a little earlier in the show, but I like Barbara more as Batgirl. If you want more information why, check out earlier in the show. MT says, when is Incredibles 2 coming out? I feel like it's like 2018 it's coming out. I know it's coming out sooner than it was supposed to. Jesse Johnson, will you be watching the new season of Samurai Jack? No, I was never a fan of the original Samurai Jack. I know, blasphemy, but Tevia says, Kat, will you watch the Dragon Ball Super? No, I really don't like Dragon Ball. I've tried many times and I am not a fan of it, so I will not be watching Dragon Ball Super. Okay, so come up with your last minute questions because we're going to start wrapping up soon. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to give my ending remarks here of like what's coming up for my channel as I wait for those last minute questions. Thank you guys for joining. I'm glad it actually worked this time. So coming up for me, obviously holiday stuff. So there's not as many TV reviews as you saw, but there are some shows I do want to review. Obviously, Justice League Action I mentioned. I'm pretty sure that's coming out on Christmas Eve. So I don't know if I'll be able to have the next episode up, but we'll see. I think it comes out like 7 in the morning though, so I might be able to review it. It might be the episode I already reviewed though at San Diego, so I got to see. If it is, I'll just say, hey guys, check this out. But if it's not, then it's 15 minutes. I might be able to review it. I want to review Troll Hunters. That looks really cool. I'm very excited for that. It's coming out on Netflix. I might review that. What else is coming out? I'm probably going to watch Degrassi just because. Not going to review it, but I'm going to watch it. And what else is coming out? Power Rangers Ninja Steel. I'll probably review the premiere. I don't think I'll be reviewing the rest of the show, but unless like I fall in love with it. But I will be reviewing the premiere for that. So TV show, that's what's coming up. What else? Trying to think. That's TV show wise. Obviously, comic wise, it's gonna be the same thing. Some reviews on Wednesday, then the rest of the stuff on Friday. For Comic Frontline, I have Comic Uno episode on Friday, so check that out. We have Media Madness this coming Thursday for Star Wars Rogue One, and then we're gonna take a week break for the holidays and then come back for another Media Madness, which we're excited for. Frontline Live will be Tuesday. We're getting ready for an award show, so we are preparing for that. Very excited to show you guys what's going on, and we're working hard on picking our choices there. It's definitely a process. And then I have a lot of articles coming up of like, what's the best of the years? I have a lot of articles that I'm saying the same thing in and trying to reword. So check that out. Obviously on my Twitter and Facebook, I'll have information about that. So that's stuff coming up. And January, we are getting ready for the Like, Follow, Like, Daughter Kickstarter. So you're going to see weekly Q&As when that's coming out about Like, Follow, Like, Daughter. So very excited about that. All right, so let's see some questions, last-minute questions as we wrap up. All right, let's see. Spanish Heart says, will we ever have Tempest again? I don't know. We'll see. I'm sorry, MT says, hey, have you ever seen Dark City? I have not. I don't know what that is. Jesse Johnson, Kat, have you read Tom King's Vision? I hear it's really good. I read the first couple issues, but I'll probably recollect it and trade to read the whole thing. Tevia asks, will we ever have Cassie, Wonder Girl, and Bunker, and the real Bart Allen again? I would hope so. MT says, have you seen the trailer for Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk? No, I haven't, but I've seen every other Christopher Nolan film, so I'll have to check out the trailer for that. Timothy, although male lead, there are strong supporting characters for Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, plot and character-driven show with good action. I have heard good stuff about that. All right. So yeah, just keep coming in with those last minute questions. This is an interesting question. MT, if someone ever gave you a poop emoji hat and called you a shithead when you put it on, would you get mad? It would depend on the person. If I knew it was a joke, I wouldn't get mad. But yeah, it definitely depends on the person. Tevia asks, do you think Civil War II is a complete waste of time? I don't think it was a waste of time because they had some interesting story. They just didn't execute it in the end. So I think it was delayed and it had too many issues. So I had a lot of problems, but I liked it in the beginning and it had beautiful artwork. So I wouldn't call it a waste. You know, obviously a creator worked on it. So that's not a waste, but I think it could have been executed well or better. Andy says, do I like clocks? Do I like clocks? Sure. I don't wear a watch, but clocks are interesting. And thank you, Andy, for sticking around. Waru Crook says, do you want Peter Parker to only date Liz Allen in the MCU? No, not really. I've never really seen Liz Allen and Peter really as a thing. So no, that's okay. I always liked Harry and Liz a little bit more together. And I would love to see the Liz Allen Ultimate Universe storyline. I love that storyline so much. So let's see that happen. Make her inhuman. Fine. Make her, just let her have fire powers. That's all I'm asking for. What else we got here? Jesse Johnson. Kat, I was hesitant to pick up the new Hawkeye, but you sold me on it. I read the first issue and I loved it. I'm really happy to hear that. I mean, Kate Bishop's an amazing character, and I was very happy with the first issue, and I'm glad that you took the recommendation. That's what I'm here for. We got one of our last questions here. Mary Efferkill. Toad, X-Men Evolution version, The Blob. This is very hard. Who will I marry? I would probably marry, oh God, I don't know. This is hard, guys. I would kill Toad, probably. I would marry Swamp Thing, and I guess that leaves the Blob to F. So that was very interesting. Tavia, Kat, do you believe Peter will end up with Mary Jane? I don't know. In the movie? It'd be nice. I don't know, though. Andy, if you could choose, would you rather have finger-sized legs or finger-sized fingers? Or I'm sorry, leg-sized fingers. I guess leg-sized finger. Oh, they're both hard to do anything with. Maybe finger-sized legs. I guess I would rather have, because typing would be very hard with leg-sized fingers. Tom, what's your favorite long-lasting comic book run? Mine is probably Jeff Johns on Green Lantern. Tom DeFalco's Spider-Girl. 100 issues of amazingness. I love that. I literally my cover is falling off. That's how much I reread Spider-Girl. Timothy, you heard the rapper Method Man is writing issue of Ghost Rider. Yeah, I think that's awesome that he's doing that. He's a huge comic book writer. He's from Staten Island. I think that's so cool. I mean, I'm sorry. He's a huge comic book fan. I don't know if I said writer. I meant huge comic book fan. If I said writer. Tevia, Kat, what's your opinion on Annie Mae? I like her. It's kind of hard to read her, though, as a Mayday fan, because I'm just like, all right, well, we could have Mayday. But at the same time, I see her as a different version of May. So I like her, though. She's cool. Then I like Mayday more. Moru Crook, do you like the character design for the new Spider-Man cartoon? I gotta look at these character designs. I haven't seen it yet, so I have to look at it. You'll have to ask me either on Twitter or Facebook, and I'll answer then. Kenneth Katz, what's your favorite issue of Supergirl of all time? The last issue of Peter David's run, 100%. Love that issue. I reread it a lot. Kenneth Crilly, Kat, what's your favorite issue of Supergirl? Oh, I read that. I'm sorry. Kat, if you had size changing power, what would you do? I'd grow big, that way I could travel easier. Yeah. Going back to my laziness. Because if you're taking bigger steps, you get to travel easier. So yeah, that's what I would do. MT, oh, one more question. Has Miles Morales ever met Kate Bishop of the main Marvel Universe? I don't think they have. Tevia, I don't think Miles Morales remembers anything from his old universe. I don't think so either. All right, so, oh, there's one more. There's another question. Waru Crook, what would you do with Tim Drake after Rebirth? Give him his own series. That's what I would do. Because Tim deserves his own series again. So I think that's all the questions for now, guys. So thank you for joining me. This was about an hour and a half. So thank you, guys. I really had a blast. I'm glad it worked this time. And thank you so much for the ongoing questions. Like I said, I'll be back for either a monthly Q&A next month. And if not, then I'll be doing my a 4-week long Q&A. So you have 4 Q&As in a month for Like Father, Like Daughter. So look forward to that. So thank you guys. This is Comic Uno wishing you guys a happy holidays also. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Bye.